Hello everybody. Welcome to the Social Housing and Retrofit Accelerator Masterclass on embedding equality, diversity and inclusion in retrofit programs. My name's Natasha Freeman. I'm a director at Turner & Townsend. Let's introduce the subject. So the introduction to equality, diversity and inclusion is on the slide that you're looking at now. Equality, diversity and inclusion, EDI for short, ensures fair treatment and opportunity for all. It aims to eradicate prejudice and discrimination based on an individual or group of individuals' protected characteristics. Equality is where no one should be treated less favourably because of their protected characteristics. It means equal opportunity for all, making sure that those who are disadvantaged have the tools to access the same opportunities as others. Diversity embraces recognising, respecting and celebrating each other's differences. And inclusion means creating an environment where everyone feels welcome and valued. And in order to create this, we must be aware of our own potential for unconscious bias and learn how to manage this to behave more open-mindedly. So what are protected characteristics? This model identifies what protected characteristics might be. Some are easy to visibly identify and others are not so easy. So looking at the wheel and going from right to left, clockwise, we have age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage or civil partnership when we consider employment only, pregnancy and maternity, race, religion or belief, sex and sexual orientation. In reality, in considering what we need to do from day to day, we may have to consider more than one of these at the same time. So, what is justice? To determine the answer to this, we need to consider reality, equality, equity, and then we can get to justice. For reality, the picture that you're seeing shows you that one person gets more than is needed, while the other gets less than is needed, thus creating a huge disparity in what is created. When we look at equality, the assumption is that everyone benefits from the same supports. This is considered to be equal treatment. When we consider equity, everyone gets the support they need, and that produces equity. So to arrive at what is justice, we can see that all three can see the same, are in the same game, without supports or accommodations, because the causes of the inequity was addressed. The systemic barrier has effectively been removed. With reference to retrofit programs, let's look at how we need to apply these principles. So the benefits, for example, of a diverse supply chain is inclusive procurement, which delivers broader societal benefits by generating economic opportunity in disadvantaged communities. An inclusive procurement strategy widens the pool of potential suppliers, and you can better identify the best suppliers by finding diverse owned businesses that are competitive in quality, service and price. Diverse businesses are developing more innovative solutions, so you can benefit from the value their entrepreneurial approaches bring. And other benefits include increased language skills, offering better community relations. It enhances employee performance and improves the customer service and therefore the customer journey. When considering how you can both achieve this and evidence it, let's look at the slide content you're seeing here, and attracting diverse skills. Does your organisation have an EDI policy in place? If the answer is yes, make sure this is adopted into your supply chain practices. If the answer is no, now is the time to create one. Liaising with your procurement team to make sure that EDI is embedded in their process through recruitment initiatives. Make sure you closely evaluate your organisation's supply chain diversity commitments, and that EDI is embedded in the whole employee life cycle. It is important to work with suppliers that proactively aim to employ a representative proportion of minorities for the areas in which they operate. And consider those who give opportunities to those with physical or mental disabilities who are homeless, ex-offenders, women returners, prison workers, etc. Avoiding tokenism in that selection. Be proactive and not reactive. Diversity is not a box you check and then forget about. Make sure that you have an inclusive workplace with a variety of people with different protected characteristics who are safe from discrimination, microaggression, and bias. Be intentional about providing a space where diverse voices are heard and be able to demonstrate how their valued input is implemented. The next aspect to consider is the impact on others of your activities and those of the people you engage with, employ, or instruct. Engaging with different resident groups, identify protected groups and assess what different support they may require in relation to communication for proposed retrofit programs. For example, disability, vulnerable persons. Some residents with physical or mental disabilities may not be able to cope with even short-term upheaval, having strangers in their residences. Look to see how you will manage this. Ethnicity. If there is a need to consider different languages, are there translation and helpline provisions? Age. Are elderly residents managed with care and understanding, especially if there are requirements for new technologies? As with people with disabilities, will works interfere with their mobility needs? And pregnancy. Tenants may be especially anxious about disruption, including dirt, dust, noise, especially if a baby is due or newly arrived during planned works. When considering the impact of a retrofit programme on people's well-being, don't forget shared concerns around the risks of COVID-19 and social distancing. A few examples for you now to evidence this. An example of how you could also apply these principles is captured here on the next two slides. The one you're looking at the moment is called Generation Junior Retrofit Advisor course. It's identified that circa 700,000 young people in the UK are not in employment, that more than 300,000 lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic, and this had a disproportionate effect on those disadvantaged and or in minority backgrounds. This programme will provide opportunities for those who face barriers to employment, targeting more than 50% female, more than 80% ethnic minority, and more than 30% long-term employed. If it can be offered to this disadvantaged group, this is an opportunity for you to do so, and we saw that being picked up in the Wave 1 return bid. Another example is one employed by Balfour Beattie. They work with 4 different prisons to recruit ex-offenders, and one of the biggest benefits they see is the ability to win more work as a result of their participation in the ex-offender programme. It helps them to be more diverse in their recruitment and to address the skills shortage in the industry. Please look at how you can employ the same principles and technologies to ensure that you are able to evidence this in the programs that you start. Finally, if you have any further questions on this subject, please get in touch either with myself, and my email address is at the top of that list, or the social housing retrofit people. Thank you for your time.